everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Elevating Your Life. And I'm just so thrilled to share with you our guest today. We have with us Sherianna Boyle. She is a superb speaker who has appeared on TV and radio broadcasts around the world. She is also the host of her own podcast, the Detox Podcast. She's an internationally best-selling author of numerous books, courses, and audio programs that cover every aspect of mind, body, and spirit. Her groundbreaking books blend psychology, energy healing, and practical and spiritual approaches, which produce dynamic results. She has created the revolutionary 7-step C.L.E.A.N.S.E method to help you rid yourself of negativity, fear, worry, anger, and doubt, and guide you back toward a natural, energized state of pure joy and acceptance. And she has created this amazing oracle deck, which we are going to talk about. First off, welcome, Sherianna. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, I'm honored. I would love it if you'd share more of your background and kind of what triggered you to create this fantastic deck that you created.
Sure. Well, the deck, Emotional Detox deck, is part of the Emotional Detox family now. So I've written several books on emotional detox, and the deck was just sort of like the next step. It really helped to break down the steps so that a lot of people love, as you know, Paula, they love to just kind of pull a card or get a message or get a tip or a tool, something that they can work with every day, especially the younger folks. And so the deck was sort of for those that are looking for more of a something tangible, because emotions can be so intangible. They're a hard concept, and the cards kind of make it a little bit more accessible for some people. But I've been doing this for many, many years, Paul. I've started out in the field of psychology as a school psychologist, and then I went into energy healing, and then I started writing books. So I've written 11 books on between spirituality and then emotional detox. Yeah. So, and emotions have been the foundation for all of them, and learning how to process them, and whether it's process them to develop your intuition or connect to your spirit guides, or as a way to create that inner balance that people are looking for to keep them out of fear or to build that stamina or strength. I think a lot of people know, Paula, they're recognizing that when it comes to health, they're recognizing, I know my emotions play a role here. And relationships and manifesting. It's becoming more and more, we're like, okay, yeah, I know it's something that I need to acknowledge here. I can't just take a pill, right? Or change jobs, or get rid of a boyfriend. There is some work to do there to break patterns, and emotions are definitely a big part of that.
So, Sherianna, what would you say is the difference in, let's say, reading a book about the emotional detox to using your cards? How are they unique and different than reading a book?
Well, they're different than. So I have a lot of card decks myself. I love working with decks. Again, it's for the tangible aspect. The nice part about working with the deck is you can access your subconscious. You can shuffle the cards, you can bring yourself to the present moment, and you can see what you're just drawn to. Instead of like, what do I need to do? What's wrong? What's my problem? And the way that the deck is designed is it's around the C.L.E.A.N.S.E system that I teach. And C.L.E.A.N.S is an acronym for the steps of an emotional detox. So there are clear reactivity cards. That's the C card. So if you intuitively pull a clear reactivity card, that is a sign that's something that you might need to work on. And look inward, that's another step. That's the L. There are look inward cards. And you can also play with them a little bit like a game where if you had time and you wanted to pick a C card, an L card, an E card, an A card, an N card, you could sort of go through each card and mix and match and kind of create your own cleanses. And every card is a tool or a strategy, and every card has a message. And you can kind of see what themes come up. It's a real fun way, and it kind of gets you out of your head. I definitely I pull at least minimum once a week. I'll just pull for myself just to see what I need, because you're an energy healer, right, Paula? And you know that we don't really like, sometimes it's so helpful to have somebody else guide you, right? It's we can help others, but then when it comes to ourselves, sometimes we just need these tools to say, okay, let me look at myself now and see, what do I need to be focusing on? And when I've been teaching the cleanse since 2018 is when the Core Emotional Detox book was released. And I've been teaching it to many, many different people, and I find that they get so stuck on the steps, and then they're like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? It's like, okay, let's peel the onion here, and how about we just focus on one step? And that's where the duck comes in, where I say, okay, if you feel a little stuck in one area, just focus on one of the steps, like clear reactivity. Work with those cards until you're ready to move to step 2.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And
Do you want me to? I can pull a card for your listeners
I
too,
would
maybe after the
love it.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
love it.
yeah.
And something you've said is emotions are meant to be processed rather than managed or suppressed. I love that. Share a bit more about that, please.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about it like food. In order to get the nutrients from your food, you need to digest it. In order to have the food, you need to experience it. I can't just look at a menu and have an experience with food. If I look at a menu and say, okay, maybe I'll like that, maybe I'll like that, I wonder if that's good. But it isn't until the plate is in front of me and I can smell the food, taste the food, feel the food, be present to it, that I am now experiencing it. And that's the same with your emotions. You can't just talk about them, folks. You just can't. The experience is limited there. And yes, it's important to talk about them, but there's just like food, there's a whole nother part where I need to process, experience those emotions in my body. And that becomes very challenging for people, because what I found was many people, what they're calling an emotion is actually a reaction. And we're getting confused in wording and semantics. So, for example, there's the emotion of guilt. I feel guilty. Well, if you really tune into your body, there's not a lot of movement with that word, guilt. If you notice, guilt can often feel heavy or stuck or constricted. You have a hard time you in the past a lot with guilt. You keep revisiting things. And that's not processing. Processing feels a lot different. When an emotion is in a state of being processed, what ends up happening is you feel lighter. You feel freer. You feel more relaxed. You feel more focused. And you're more present to what's happening in the here and now. So I often will say to people, well, that to me, I know you're calling it guilt, and I know we've been taught this is guilt, but what would happen if you slid that into this is a reaction? I'm actually controlling what I'm feeling by saying I feel guilty. I'm actually managing it and micromanaging it. And when I do that, people are like, oh, okay. So it's like, give yourself permission to let go of some of those labels and the way that they might actually be interfering with your ability to process what you feel.
I love it. I love it. And your cards are very unique in the fact that they include body-based practices like breathing, humming, gentle movements. Tell us about that and the difference that can make for us.
Well, it's the cleanse. The cleanse is the steps. There are many variations of every step. The cleanse is the structure, and it's the sequence. The magic is in the sequence. You always start at the C and you end at the E when you're doing a complete cleanse. If I'm learning a specific step and I'm pulling a card and I'm getting used to that, eventually I want to move through the entire process. So with every step, there is a tool. So for example, with clear reactivity, you're going to be getting tools that teach you, mindful tools, how to regulate your nervous system. For the look inward, you're going to be getting tools that teach you how to identify your emotions without re-traumatizing yourself. How do I express them without re-traumatizing?
Huge.
There's a whole nother set of tools. With E, that's emit, you're going to be getting the power of vibration of mantras. Emitting sound, which we know the sound frequency can change the brain. It can change your perception. It can change your cells. And then A is activate. So when you pull the activate card, you're going to be getting tools that help you to, now you're moving, you have enough energy to move in a new direction. So it's like you went from here, so I went from feeling guilt to processing, and as that emotion gets processed, I'm going through these steps. It's like a recycle bin, and you're watching it change energy and frequency, and then what comes out at the other end is completely, by the time you get to ease, is completely different than the way that you started.
I love it. I love it. I do mantras every morning.
Oh, awesome. Do you have a specific one that you like?
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
just, like,
yeah.
I am love, I am health, I am joy. Yeah.
I can tell you have so much positivity. It's so effective. I mean, I knew there would be mantras in the cleanse when I started developing the acronym and the sequence because I wrote a book on mantras. I wrote a book called Mantras Made Easy back in 2016. And so I learned really the power of them. And I knew when I was developing emotional detox, I was like, I know there's going to be a mantra. I just don't know where and how. And then it was like, oh, here it goes, right here, like a puzzle piece. And it really works perfectly, like what you're saying, Paul, is it just generates an energy. And when you repeat these kinds of statements from a state of feeling, folks, and that's the key. It can't just be rote. And in fact, the research shows that there's evidence with affirmations, and they did different studies, such as people with depression would do affirmations, and some people would, and some people wouldn't. And one of the things that they found really made a difference was the level of compassion that people had while they were saying it. So it wasn't just, yeah, like you have so much heart and compassion. That's why they work so well for you. Where if somebody's using it as like, I'm just trying to fix myself, that's not compassion. Or I'm just doing this because somebody told me to do it. Right? And so what's nice about the beginning of the cleanse is you clear that reactivity. You identify what you feel without re-traumatizing. Now you're ready for those mantras. And then by the time you hit activate, you're really feeling it. You're not just saying it. You're really feeling the mantra. And that's what the research shows, really, when you start getting, 15%, reduction of depression in 15 days or something. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. So would you say that trust comes into that? Trusting what you say,
Yes.
saying yes to that, being achieved or being in
Well,
essence.
that's nourish. That's a step in the cleanse. So once you get to the A, you're an activate, then N is N is it's called nourishment, and that's where you get the trust, because nourishment comes from learning to trust your intuition, learning to follow what you feel, learning to listen and not compare yourself to others. And so that's that real inner development, that absolutely trust, and you're no longer trying to control everything. And you're starting to learn, okay, nourishment is about, a lot of nourishment, Paula, is about learning to be quiet.
Oh,
And
I love that.
you're so cute.
I love
That's because you are that, Paula.
it. Yeah. Yes, my energy sister. I love it. My energy sister. And isn't that a wonderful thing? Oh my God. And there's that beautiful blend of science and spirituality in your approach, from vagus nerve regulation to energy awareness. I love that. Share with us how those kind of go together in your deck, and how amazing that is.
Well, it all is at the energetic level, at the core of it all. Emotion is energy in motion, and it certainly is in motion, and it can be in motion as long as we're not resisting it. And it's designed to be in motion, not just from an energy standpoint, but from a biological standpoint. It's our anatomy, and you want to think about emotions like neurotransmitters. They fire and they wire, and they highly impact your brain and the way that you see the world and the way your body responds. So what your thoughts are will affect your muscles. Whether you're sending tension to your muscles and glands, or whether you're sending the release of tension. And so it's all connected now. We can't separate the mind, the body, the spirit. But in terms of the energy of it all, and it really is learning to get to know emotions as energy. There's so much more. It's like don't judge a book by its cover, right? It's like we've learned so much to label, talk, but you really don't know someone until you're with them, until you get to know them, and until you get to feel them really, and experience them, and through vulnerability and open-heartedness, and letting your guard down. I mean, so you can't get to know someone fully, or they can't get to know you if your guard is up all the time. And it's the same thing with emotions. There's an energy there. And I think sometimes we're so fear and judgmental, and protect myself from this and stop this and set boundaries around that. And that's all important. And you will learn to set boundaries. But do it from a place where you're looking to stay open, not to close, a place of love. And so the last two steps of the cleanse are the S and the E. One is surrender. What are you allowing in your life? Surrender is about letting go so you can let something in. And it's being open. And surrender is about expanding. And then the final step is ease. And that step is represented by the I am, which you're saying. You say your I am statements. And the I am has a lot of spiritual significance, a lot of religious. You see it in religious philosophy, theology, all the religions. The I am shows up. The Greeks, the Jewish, the Christianity, and the Kabbalah. There's the I am in the Sanskrit, the Buddhism, everywhere. That the power of the I am. And so that's where you land, remembering that we are not separate from. And that's where it turns into energy, and it becomes sort of this East meets West, right? That's where this is beyond the body. Energetically, I am. I'm not trying to get somewhere. I'm actually that already. It's just I've been blocked, right? And you're breaking illusion, which so many of us that are looking to, how do I live? How do I not get so caught up with this? And we're bombarded. So processing your emotions is going to help you.
So when it comes to surrender, okay, I want to surrender what needs to be surrendered.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be my first step in defining what I need to let go of?
Well, with the cleanse, you've already done 5 other steps.
Brought you
So
there.
the idea is it, you're ready by that 6th step.
I love it.
It's like a slide, right? You've already walked up the ladder and you've taken the previous step. You've regulated your nervous system. You've identified what you're cleansing. You've introduced vibration and mantras. You've activated where you're heading. You've nourished it with some silence. And now, I mean, don't you feel ready to let it go? And it's not about letting go, it's about letting in. What are you going to are you going to allow things like receiving or healing or growth and expansion, and that's connected to the soul. And then you land in the I am and the remembering.
Oh, what a beautiful process. Oh my gosh. It's
Oh.
that is
Well, it kind of came through me. I don't really feel like it's from me. I think it came through me. And it
Mhm.
came through me at a tough time in my life when I was really asking. That's why it came through. It wasn't like I was chosen or anything. I was asking. How I wanted to know, how do I do this? And I'd been studying and studying for so long and really committing to learning about emotions and teaching. And I wrote a book called The 4 Gifts of Anxiety before that. And that is all energy tools for anxiety. And those tools, I was using them and I was practicing and I was learning. And so I just believe that it all kind of sequenced to emotional detox. It was like I had to write 6 other books to
Yeah.
get the emotional detox book and make sense of it myself before it could all be put together.
Oh my gosh. What a beautiful gift to all of us. Oh my gosh. This
You're
is
so
so
welcome.
amazing. Ah, I I can imagine, what feedback you've gotten and what you've seen with sharing all of this and these beautiful messages. What what would be if someone pulled a card, what would today, what kind of reaction would make you happy? What would you like to see us move on from that?
I think that's really that first step of pulling a card. I don't think it's about outcome. It's about being willing to interrupt your pattern with something new. Being open and willing and taking a pause long enough where I'm going to, everything is a tool in our lives, everything. And it's just about intention. But I think it's less what's going to happen to me and am I doing it right or wrong. And really for the card, it's something to reach and touch and slow you down. And nowadays we're so digital, everything's a download, and everything's stimulating our eyes and our ears. This one's stimulating touch. And I think we need to work on that a little bit.
Yeah. And so
Tactile. Yeah.
really, I would think taking just that first step to begin
Mm.
this
Yeah.
amazing process is huge and life changing.
And then if you want more or you feel, then I would read the companion book, Emotional Detox. If you're someone who's really struggling, you're going through divorce, you're going through, someone with addiction or helping a family member, read the book to get how you might be reacting and contributing and reinforcing some of the patterns around you, because we do play a role whether we like it or not. I know I did in my life. I was I was reinforcing so much. I thought I was helping. I my
Oh,
intention was there, but it was so much fear that I was just holding it together, holding it together, holding it together. Control, control, micromanage. And on the outside, it looked like I'm doing everything and I'm doing everything I can and I'm doing the best I can. But once you start pulling cards, you really give yourself permission to say, you know what, this doesn't have to be all on me. I don't have to take this everything on myself. I can tap into something within me, but I'm going to have to let that feeling come up
yeah.
because we all have that internal guidance and love and support and higher self. And that's what emotions can give us. But we do have to take a they're nice. You can keep them on your desk, you can keep them by your bedside.
Oh, I'm so excited. And it's so true. Try to control. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sherianna, we have just a couple minutes left. Please share your website and any last message you have for all of us
Sure.
today.
And my website is sherryannaboyle.com. And that's where you'll find everything, my books, and I do one-on-one with people if you need support. I do channel. I do in terms of I wrote a book called Just As Spirit, and so I do connect to see what you might need to cleanse if you're looking for something like that. The books provide all the tools that I use. I give them to you. So if you wanted to try them and learn them yourself. So that's at sherryannaboyle.com. Or you can go to Amazon or Barnes& and Noble or Books A Million or your local bookstore. Just ask them if you can order it through them.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Your books, your cards are just such a gift to us, Sherianna. Oh my gosh.
Thanks,
A
Paula.
big heartfelt thank you for all the lives that you've touched and you've made a difference in. You put a smile on my face this morning.
Well, thank you, Paula. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us today. Love, hugs, and blessings. Sherianna, love, hugs, and blessings. I look forward to maybe down the road we chat again. I would love that.
Thank you.